Welcome to the Bulldog Breakdown. Buck Belue here with Hutson Mason as we break down Georgia game number 4, and it's one that's been circled on the calendar for a couple of years since the visit to South Bend. Notre Dame comes to town. So, Hut, what do you say we break it down? Georgia's won 15 in a row at home, but haven't exactly been beating world beaters in Athens at Sanford Stadium. I believe with game day in town, this would be the first big top 10 type of matchup, possible victory over a really good team since game day was here last in 2013.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's been a while since top 10 matchup in Sanford Stadium, but you mentioned 15 straight games. Georgia's been really good, specifically at night under the lights in Sanford Stadium. So it'd be a cool opportunity for fans to kind of see a couple new things. Georgia's new light system that they've poured a ton of money into. Obviously, facility upgrades. They're going to be bringing in some extra seating for fans. Georgia officials announced this week there's supposed to be an extra 90,000 people without tickets. I'm not for sure if Athens is built to handle that.
Yeah, but they're going to have to close it down.
You better plan on spending the night. You ain't getting home that night.
World-class atmosphere. So let's break it down. Let's look at Georgia's offense taking on this Notre Dame defense. And the elephants in the room, let's talk about it. Georgia, with this powerful physical running game, one of the best run offensive lines in college football. You're deep at running back. DeAndre Swift, a big-time player. He's got a chance, it looks like on paper, to have a huge game that maybe throws him into the Heisman chase.
Yeah, and, Georgia's obviously rushing the ball really well right now, and Notre Dame is not doing a good job at all at stopping the run. So I would imagine Kirby Smart, Sam Pittman, when they turn on this tape, Coach Cooley, they're looking to just dominate and almost just use their offensive line meatiness, the big backs, to just bully Notre Dame's defensive line. I saw yesterday where the average weight for Notre Dame's defensive line is 276 pounds. Yeah. Georgia's offensive line, 325 pounds. So the weight disparity, 275 pounds for a defense, that's almost like out of MAC school, Sunbelt school, not Notre Dame. So, man, I want to see these Georgia offensive linemen just lean on them for 4 quarters. And I think this is a game where you should rush for over 200 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what I'd like to see happen, and I believe it's a great opportunity for Georgia in this passing game. Look, they're going to be playing, it looks like, some young wide receivers, and instead of playing 15, 20 plays, these young wide receivers are going to be playing, looks like 40 to 50 plays in the game. So that's a concern, but I think in this situation, when you're facing a Notre Dame defense that is so focused on ganging up on the Georgia run game. Yeah. They've heard about it all week. They're going to be over-aggressive early in the game. As a play caller and game planner, I like the idea of having the run action fake, first couple of possessions, taking some deep shots down the field, trying to hurt them with the big play.
Yeah, I like that as well. We've obviously seen that's who Georgia's been. They kind of rock you to sleep running the ball. And when they're having success, bang, play action pass, they get you sucking in, looking at the wrong place, and then Fromm is lethal throwing the ball down the field. I guess the question for me is I'm looking, who's going to be that receiver? Tyler Simmons, Demetrius Robertson. Kirby hasn't announced that those guys are really playing yet this week.
Well, they're obviously dinged up.
They're dinged up. So I'm kind of looking to see, is it going to be George Pickens? Is it Demetrius Robertson? Who's going to be that guy that has a big game? Yeah. Notre Dame has 4 seniors in the secondary that are starting. So I think that is kind of a under-the-radar matchup against an unproven receiving group for the Bulldogs.
So Coach Kelly has said their defense, as far as stopping the run, look, Louisville was running the quarterback. Georgia obviously is not going to do that with Jake Fromm. So you can eliminate that part of defending the run for Notre Dame. But Coach Kelly's talked about them feeling better about defending the run. Their defensive line, he says, not giving up a lot of ground on the line of scrimmage. He's not concerned about getting knocked off the ball. His concern is the linebackers fitting the run game. You got to have everybody, you got to have somebody in every gap. Yeah. So linebackers fitting the run, and then the safeties getting involved against the run, and that's where that play-action pass comes into play.
I'll say this, too, about Notre Dame is I do believe that my biggest concern from them, Buck, is that they lack the physicality to play. But it's also, can Notre Dame show up in primetime games? Obviously, fresh in our memory is last year against Clemson, 2013 against Alabama. But they have lost 18 out of 19 games against top 5 teams in the country going back since 1999.
Yeah, 10 in a row. Yeah. So a big challenge for them on defense, stopping this Georgia run game. On the other side, we'll come back, talk about the Georgia defense taking on a highly skilled Notre Dame offense. That's next on the Bulldog Breakdown.
Be a part of radio history here in Atlanta by securing the 680 The Fan 25th Anniversary Retro T-shirt, like Hutson Mason and I are wearing right now.
Great thing is all proceeds will go to a great cause. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, all the great folks over there will benefit from it. You can get your shirt and hat, trucker hat. That's always great for the summertime. 680thefan.com/retro-buck. People may get that confused with Metro because we're going to look so good in it.
Don't fool around. Do it now and be looking good.
Buck Belue, Hutson Mason, Bulldog Breakdown, Georgia, Notre Dame. Let's talk about the Bulldog defense. They're going to need to hunker down in this matchup. And you look at, I really like the Notre Dame quarterback, Ian Book. And I tell you what he does best to me, Hud, is he extends plays and can improvise, hit big plays. When, you know, he's flushed out of the pocket or gets out, he can make good things happen for this Fighting Irish offense. I'm concerned about our cornerback position, where we've got Tyson Campbell apparently is dinged up a little bit. I'm worried about the other three cornerbacks. DJ Daniels had a hamstring thing. Stevenson's a true freshman. I think we learned something in the Sugar Bowl about our other cornerback, but I think they're going to be stressed in this game.
Yeah, I do too. And Notre Dame gets back one of their best tight ends, Cole Kmet. He's a tight end who Notre Dame people will tell you they think he's kind of like Tyler Eifert, and he's been out the first couple weeks with a broken collarbone. So they get him back. Notre Dame struggled to run the ball. They're 45th in the country, averaging 190 yards. Georgia's rush defense is number 5 in the country. So I think it comes down to, can Ian Book take chances? Does he have confidence to take chances? And can they land those big shot chances against Georgia's secondary like you're talking about? It's tough, and Notre Dame is not going to have continuous 12-play drives against this Georgia defense and score points. So they've got to find a way to cut the field in half, and that goes back to, can they take chances and land it? And then can they have some type of success running the ball against Georgia's defense?
Notre Dame's receivers, big, 6'3", 6'4", 200-plus pounds, so really a physical matchup for the Georgia cornerbacks in this game. Now, the Fighting Irish, I believe, has a top 10 offensive line. 4 of the 5 starters are back from last season. They're big, they're physical. But their success has come in the run game, has come off getting outside, speed sweep, things of that nature. Instead of just running between the tackles, they haven't had a lot of success doing that so far this season. You're going to see Georgia rotate 8, 9 defensive linemen in and out of the game. It's going to be a big game for Big 99 at nose tackle. He needs to be a difference maker.
Tyler Clark, Big 99. I mean, we're not talking enough about the interior defensive line for Georgia, but you're exactly right. I mean, remember last time, 2 years ago, when Georgia went to Notre Dame, they had 2 first-round picks on that offensive line. Quentin Nelson, who now plays for the Colts, and there was another one. I can't remember his name. Forgive me. But that's a place where Notre Dame is so good every single year, recruiting those big Midwestern corn-fed boys, and they just move you off the offensive line. And we know, it's well documented, Georgia's defensive line has kind of struggled the past years, getting to the quarterback, stopping the run. So I think you're right. I mean, some of those guys up front in the interior part of the defensive line have got to win some one-on-one matchups, get to Ian Book, cause them to throw the ball away. Sacks would be nice, but also just disrupt the running backs and not allow them to get going.
All right, so biggest game at Sanford Stadium, they say, since 1929 when Yale showed up, as they dedicated the opening of Sanford Stadium in 29.
I have a hard time believing there hadn't been a big game in Sanford Stadium since World War I or Pearl Harbor or whatever 1929
capacity was 30,000. They packed the house that day in 29, and all the fans paid $3 for a ticket to get into the game. Needless to say, they're paying a lot more than that to get in this game. Gosh, the ticket prices, you're talking about $500, $600, $700, $800 to try to get in there right now.
No thanks. Right here on the couch watching the game, Buck. Can't beat it, man.
Yeah, the man cave is really popular. But Georgia, Notre Dame, biggest game in a long, long time at Sanford Stadium. Should be a good one. We'll be here next week. We'll break down the Bulldogs' next game here on the Bulldog Breakdown.